Hey, good morning, traders. Well, Amazon, is this the answer to every retailer's woes? Well, it looks like it's got Sears at least up today on news that it's going to sell its Kenmore products on Amazon. So it should help. Here you see it's already popped up here. Well, from 868, it's trading at 1010. So pretty big move there. I like the weekly chart here. You can see it's been in a downtrend basically for many years. Let's go like wow, from 160, crashing here, a little pop up, and just in a death trend, so to speak, and then a retest, W type of bottom here. Pretty sloppy there on the daily, but on the weekly it looks pretty good. And now clearing these prior resistance here, so could be a decent gap trade. It could be something good more intermediate term. Backing off here a little bit. Let's see what the markets are doing. S&P's here continuing to move up. Another up day yesterday. Be careful here at the open. It had a consolidation. In here, a little sideways move, which is, really bullish. So, what's bullish about this consolidation? A little tip here: when you see prices go up like this with momentum, a strong momentum move, and then go sideways over time, right? Time correction versus price correction, pull back to some support. That's bullish price action because demand stays steady. Buyers continue to step up and build or create new support. Fantastic. That's what breakouts are made out of. Well, they broke out and stalled. That's okay. There's a pullback to the top of the base, but then it accelerated again, and now it's come all the way back in again. So within this time frame, not good price action. Obviously, if you're a breakout trader, this is not what you want to see. You're probably exiting the trade if you did. And at this point, let's see if it, does it get below the support, or is it some type of a upside shakeout that results in continued upside? So it could be a shakeout of a shakeout. I know that sounds crazy, but it does happen. So here's your line in the sand, and you can even say it really shouldn't get below that little sideways or additional base. If it does, it really opens up the door to breaking this relatively easy. Qs, not as bad, but you can see there's the breakout, and it's beginning to pull in. And just take note here: these lines here, they're not trader pivot lines, they're not Fibonacci lines. They are just lines that I have put on the chart based on price support and resistance. Just the simple concept of what was resistance becomes support, so on and so forth. When you just move the lines up, you don't need any fancy trend tools, Fibonacci tools. Just look to the left and see where there's been some consolidation or some swing low, and that's your reference point. You don't need all the holy grail tools. Just look to see the price action, pivots, or congestion, and that's your reference point. So up multiple days in a row. I mean, how far can this thing go? It just seems inconceivable, unimaginable that it continues to push higher here without a pullback. The weekly chart is bullish. It had this correction here, little bull flag, and doesn't look so bullish here on the daily chart, but that's what multiple time frames is about: condensing information and getting a different view from a different time frame. So this should pull back, or it might go sideways. Bullish price action, correction over time versus pullback. But this type of momentum move opens up the door to a price pullback. Look at the distance from the moving averages here, and so then we just scroll up here. What was the prior resistance point, and it looks like it's already been used right there. That was that pullback. So a little extended there, and odds of a pullback increased dramatically. Oil recovering. Overall, the lower highs are in place, and forget the downtrend line here. Just, there's a your analysis should be done horizontally. Look what's to the left, not diagonally with lines connecting dots, projecting lines into the future as if somehow mysteriously they create some resistance points. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy since you have so many line drawers. That's what they've been taught to do. However, look to the left and see where's there's some congestion or a pivot high. It's in the area of a pivot high, and so on. Connecting the dots. That's for the kids with the coloring books that mom gave them. Makes pictures when they run their pencil over the dots, and all of a sudden, they've got some nice picture to look at. Gold down buck or so here. Waiting for that chart to come up. Yeah, so it's popped up, it's jiggling around here as it comes up into some resistance there. Had its bounce off of the lows. So it's been a market where you've had pretty sharp moves, and this one here where it tried to bounce off of the 200. It couldn't a little bit and back down again to the price support, and so we'll see what it does right here. What else is moving here this morning? CHKP down about 10%. There's a possible gap trader, 105. That's a pretty big gap, but it's cleared the support here. So that's a pretty bearish gap. We'll keep an eye on that one. I'll keep an eye on that one at the open. A couple of things you want to look at with gaps. If prices are gapping down, is it gapping down from a green bar, right, where it had been going up? Was it gapping down from a red bar where it was already going down? What was the price action at the end of the day, intraday? What was it basing? Was it going down? Was it going up? And in this case, it wasn't breaking out, which it was. And so all of this relates to what have traders experienced. Is it a shock? How much of a shock? What are they going to do? And then you see the price action that develops at the open. All right. And X has been doing very nicely, down a little bit this morning. Just looking at my list here, and which is now changing. Hold on. There's another big gapper. There's probably news on that. Up at $40. There's a gap up. Pretty sloppy action prior to that. Really not interested. And Nvidia, which didn't participate yesterday, with the market move up, which is interesting, and some relative weakness, so this might be getting tired here. All right, guys, that's it for me. The video's getting a little long here. Hope you've been enjoying these, and if you have any questions, greg@mastertrader.com. If you want to take a trial to our services, go to the site, our Master Trader advisory letter. You can try that for $1, and or you can take a free course on if you're learning about the markets. Just click on education, guys. Have a great trading day.